The key to passing SBR is to understand that it tests a totally different skill, and as such, your preparation is going to be different. With FR, financial reporting, when you would read a definition, you would read it from the point of just recognize it later. So for example, when you would read a definition of an asset, as in conceptual framework, you would just say, okay, asset is an economic resource controlled by the entity as a result of past events. And that is it. And you would just try to understand the concept of it. But that is not what is required in SBR. In SBR, we need to understand the logical points. So you would break the definition into 3 parts. And you would understand that an asset is a present economic resource controlled by the entity and as a result of past events. Because your questions are going to be formulated quite often without any numbers, and they would require you to talk about the matter, and you would need to reference the standards. So, for example, if a question would be, why internal brand recognition that is prohibited under IS 38 is not in contradiction with conceptual framework, you would need to say that an item to be recognized according to the conceptual framework needs to meet the definition of an element and also satisfy the 2 fundamental qualitative characteristics. And then you would apply the definition of the element and you would explain. So for example, you would explain, a brand is an economic resource because it allows the company to charge higher price. A brand is controlled by the company because the company can legally prevent others from using the brand. A brand is going to happen as a result of past events because it appears as a result of past marketing activities. As such, the brand meets the definition of an element. As for the 2 fundamental qualitative characteristics, the brand is relevant to the users because the brand is going to indicate that the company is able to have higher revenue. A brand, though, cannot be faithfully presented because it is not possible to separate the short-term revenue promotion from long-term brand creation. So, you see, in this case, we were supposed to just take a sentence full of the scenario, and we were supposed to remember the logical points of the definition in order to get marks. In this case, it would be 6. So, when you read the theory, it is important that you pay attention to the logical elements and challenge each and every one of them, how it is going to be met and not met. And that is it.